Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for a Champions Cup match in round 3. We've only got one more round of the pool stage after this, so every point is important. Currently, the Bulls, they're sitting in 7th on 5. Exeter, they're sitting in 3rd, sitting on the 10 points. So they'll be looking to book themselves a spot through to the next round of the competition. But both very strong sides for this matchup. It's going to be an exciting game coming from Loftus Versfeld. And looking through at these sides, here's the Bulls. First of all, Stenkamp Grobler and Mornay Smith as the front row. Vermaak and Nokia are going to be the lock duo. And then Maka van Staren, Nassim Carr, who has been really flirting with that starting lineup, all coming off the bench for a majority of the URC season. He now gets himself the start ahead of someone like a Marcel Kurtzia. And then number 8, they have gone with the big man, Heinrich Low. Looking through at the back line, it will be Zach Berger. At number 9, Chris Smith starts at 10. Harold Foster and Similani in the midfield. And then the back 3, David Creel, Callum Moody, and Kurtley Arinse going to be slotting in at 15. So he has been transitioning between fullback and the wing. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at 15 because the Exeter Chiefs, they don't actually have Stuart Hogg as their 15 here, which is something that may end up costing them. He was one of the keys for them in the last match that these two had in their head-to-head. Looking through at the front row will be Scott Seo Innard and Harry Williams. The locks, it is Dunn and Jenkins. And then the loose ball trio, David Ewers, he was actually one of the standouts in the last game up against the Bulls. Christ Chinza at number 7, and then Sam Simmons, very dangerous. He will be at number 8. So we're actually going to get to see Heinrich Low versus Sam Simmons. That's a lot of power running at each other, so I can't wait. So who ends up getting the better of that battle. Sam Maunda at number 9, Joe Simmons at 10, Solomon Kata, a man who a few of us guys in the Southern Hemisphere know a thing or two about from his time in Super Rugby. Henry Slade on his outside, Ollie Woodburn, Jack Knoll, and then Hodge will be number 15. So that is the starting lineup for both of these sides. Looking through quickly at the benches, Bismarck du Plessis, a lot of experience there. Although I always describe Bismarck du Plessis as he's a yellow card waiting to happen. And as long as he keeps his temper down, he's a good player. But as soon as he gets a little bit too riled up, that's when he ends up giving away a silly penalty. And that could be the difference between a win and a loss here, depending on what kind of Exeter Chiefs side we see coming out in this match. They've got the talent in their lineup, but playing in South Africa, it's always very tough. Try and get yourself a win. Looking through at the backs, Ambrose Papia, Johan Husson, and Lana Mapo, 3 very handy men they have coming off the bench late in the match. Then for Exeter, they have got Cephas Scott. Also in that back line, they have got Rory O'Loughlin off the bench, so he's a very handy player to have late in a contest. But yeah, those are the benches. We are only about a minute or two away from this match getting underway. Hey, howdy, hey, y'all. Hope you're doing well. Says Grumlass. Hope you are doing very well as well. And also, we have got the Hamish, nice to see you, mate. Any reason for the long break, says Coding? It's only been 5 days. But I guess in Kiwi Lads live streaming terms, that has been a little while. I've been working during the week just because of plenty of work around at the moment. I didn't end up building a deck. I have to say that with a lot of emphasis because or else then it sounds like something else with our Kiwi accent. But yeah, built a deck and whatnot. Big love, Amish. Big love, everyone. Welcome back, Scrumlass. Hope you've been well. See Sebastian there as well. And I should mention, I have currently this week, we're still only on Saturday. This week, I have trained cricket 5 times already. I'm probably overdoing it, but pre-season, I'm well and truly taking it seriously because we're only 2 weeks away from the regular season. And I want to get more than 3 off 21. I feel like that's a good goal. So that's why I've been committed to that quite a bit as well. But yeah, we're just no live streams during the week. But tomorrow we have got the live stream between the Stormers and the London Irish, I believe is who they're going to be taking on. And then alongside that, we have still got a few other matches coming up. Maybe the BBL and Black Cats win ODI series versus Pakistan 2-1, says Coding. And I guess that's another reason I should mention is because ODIs, when they started about 10:30, just ain't happening. Just because, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching an ODI, but I enjoy watching it when I know that it's going to finish before, like, 6 a.m. on a day that I'm working. And hello from London. Thanks for the comment, says John D. No worries at all, mate. And I am, says Yanlu Brand. I always mix up your name when I try and say it too quick, but welcome in. Hope you are also doing well. Currently, the camera looks like it's struggling a little bit. Ruan Nokia looks like he's about 15 pixels at the moment. Hopefully that improves by the time. There we go. Different camera angle, and Jack Knoll is crystal clear and ready to go for this match. It's going to be an interesting one because we've just seen Bordeaux. They lost to the Sharks quite drastically by about 30 points. I hope that this one's just a little bit closer than that. In fact, I hope that one is a lot closer than that. I hope that this one goes down to about a 7-point difference between the two sides. Would always be nice to see. But Bordeaux, they're in 10th at the moment, so they're going to struggle, depending on the result of Harlequins versus Racing 92, which is actually going to be tomorrow night as well. And also we have got the, hey brother, how do you do, big love? It's been my birthday. I was on the 6th and my mum's was on the 12th. It was nice, but my stepdad has fallen twice and he's in the ER right now, so hopefully he does get better soon, Scrumless. But happy birthday for you and your mum. Even with that going on, hopefully you did have a reasonably all right birthday. Match is now kicked off. Exeter Chiefs deep inside of their own 22. Looks like they are going to go for the clearing kick. What we'll do is we'll adjust the volume as it is blasting my eardrums. There we go. We are good to go. Been a while since I've done this. I'm a bit rusty with the old live stream. Nicely taken. Chris Smith now passing it back across to Forster. Puts the kick in behind. Nicely taken by Cannon Moody, who's actually quite a wee way off his wing. Penalty goes the way of the Exeter Chiefs, though, because he was in front. It was a bit unlucky because that deflection just slowed down that kick for long enough. One of the camera angles is very unclear. And thanks, Hamish, you lads. It's all going to be okay. And hey, Hamish, hi, Hamish, how's it going? Have you fixed your laptop? Oh, tell you what, we're going to start that again, John, because that was a shocking read, wasn't it? Hi, Hamish, how's it going? Have you fixed your laptop yet? I'm also an IT expert, by the way. So my PC, it's fine, I believe, but it's the hard drives. I've been slowly trying to get everything back that was on it, which takes a long time. Like, for some reason, the speed that it's running at now is a speed that really you can't do too much with, if that makes sense. Like, for me to transfer a 10-minute video with film takes about 3 hours. And we have a lot of 10-plus minute videos that are still sitting there. I should mention as well, if the lighting doesn't look as good as it normally would, it is because currently we've got wires running all over the roof. We've only got a little light bulb here and a little light bulb on that side of the room. So it's quite moody lighting, I guess you'd say, in the lounge. Speaking of moody lighting, I don't know what's happened to the main camera, but I think someone's finger is over it or something because it looks like it's really struggling. Big run from Nokia. Now Zach Berger goes across to the right-hand side. Similani decides to give it the boot in behind. Sits up nicely for the fullback, Hodge, who did have a bit of a fumble, but he has been able to recover almost straight through. Good low tackle made by Nokia again. Now going off to the short side. They had numbers, but instead decided to cut back. It was Jack Dunn. And also, we're happy belated birthday to you and your mum. Also, speedy recovery to the big man. Hope it all turns out all right. And the end says it was Sebastian. And thank his brother. Go Exeter Chiefs. See, that's the thing. In terms of Gallagher Premiership, when was the last time we actually did a full Gallagher Premiership team versus team? It's been a while. This game does not count, but we're going to have to do a little bit more of the Premiership, I think. In fact, we've only done one since the Wasps situation. David Ewers running hard. Tackled well by Nassim Carr. But the Exeter Chiefs so far, throughout the first 5 minutes or so, they haven't looked like they're going to allow the Bulls' physicality to get to them. They've made a train there. That was quite impressive. They had about 4 men lined up so that the box kick could go right back. Chris Smith has knocked that ball on. I believe him and David Creel just got a little bit under each other's toes. And now Solomon and Cutter with the wide ball to Hodge. Looks for the 50-22. It's skidding on. It's going to go out just outside of the 22. And that is going to be now a line out in favour of the Vodacom Bulls. Yeah, the Warriors and Wasps are now gone. It's all drama and Conflama, says Grumless. And it's weird, isn't it? Because there were so many rumours about new teams taking their place. And I think next season, if any of those rumours are going to become a reality, that's when we're going to see them. But like, people were saying it's going to be the Cheetahs, South African side heading there. People were saying it's going to be, who else did they say? A French team. I think everyone was just going, what team do we want to see in the Premiership? Someone said that Leinster was going to get demoted from the URC and put in the Premiership, which was interesting because I'd love to see Leinster play all the Premiership sides, but I don't think that's ever going to happen in terms of other than the odd Champions Cup game every once in a while. Now they're rolling more with the Bulls looking strong. Referee's yellow is right in the way of the camera. Still going forward. That's going to be a nice drag down ball. And, that was brilliant work from, I believe that would have been Christ Chinzo, who had his arms over the ball. In fact, no, it was Scott Seo. He just had that one in his graphs, and that is now going to be the ball in favour of the Exeter Chiefs. In fact, I believe they won a penalty for it. And I was like, oh, good Lord, says Scrum Lass in there. Yeah, you hear some weird theories while doing these streams. What competition is the same as the URC? Nah, this one's the European Champions Cup. So pretty much the gist of this comp is you've got 24 teams. Those 24 are going to get narrowed down to 16, I believe it is. Or it might even, here we go. The top 16, so 8 from each group go through to the next round, the round of 16. Then 9 and 10 out of the 12 teams go through to the Challenge Cup, and they get to take part in that competition. So it's not all over for the teams in 9th and 10th, but 11 and 12, you're pretty much going home. There was Yanri, hasn't got the faintest idea of what he's talking about, says Carlos. Sorry, says Sebastian. I wasn't going to name drop, but yeah, it was. It's going to be now nice work in the breakdown from the Bulls. They now get themselves a scrum for the ball not coming free. The rolling more of the Exeter Chiefs. Yeah, Maunda, he tried to go around the side and just got swallowed by Ryan Nokia. Best way of describing it. Just ended up getting held. And the Bulls will have to travel a lot, won't they, says John Mills. Not hugely, same as any other competition. They're in South Africa for this game. So the way that it works is you play 2 legs up against the same side, and then you have 2 different sides that you play. So the Bulls, they go head-to-head with Exeter Chiefs twice. So they went over to England, played the first match. They did end up losing that one. And then the other team that they do go head-to-head with, they have got their game next Saturday, and that's up against Lyon. So they'll be playing Lyon in France. The first match they played in South Africa. So it's quite even, 2 and 2. 2 home, 2 away. A referee, whose name I've forgotten. Is it Raynell? Is that Matthew Raynell? Maybe. And also, can they afford the plane tickets with these very weak rands, says John? You'd hope so. But they would have had to think about that before deciding they wanted to join a European competition to an extent. You know, it's one of those ones that I'm sure they considered the financial benefits and the financial problems with joining a new comp, and they decided the positives outweigh the negatives, which is understandable because so far in the URC they've got a title under their belt. The Stormers, the Bulls made it through to the final, so it was actually an all South African final for the URC. Back into the pocket here, the Exeter Chiefs, Sam Simmons, 2 meters out for the line, but Nassim Carr over the ball. No, doesn't have it. In fact, is it a clean turnover? No, it's not. I think it's going to be, it's actually a scrum feed for Exeter. That was a bit scrappy because the ball almost bounced out on the Bulls' side, but they didn't quite get that out. It would be fun if they had to come by boat, nor even ship. Well, not even ship, says Sebastian there. Because I know that we were talking about, in terms of the cricket, how they never used to play as many matches, mainly because, the travel, they had to spend a lot of time getting from A to B to be able to play their cricket matches. Now you just hop on a nice flash plane. What's the flight time between South Africa and England? I think it's about 10, 11 hours. That might be too short, actually. How long is a flight to South Africa from England? Okay, it wants me to 11 hours 35. That wasn't a bad guess. That's now going to be a free kick to the Bulls. This game has had a lot of stop-start early. That is for sure, but there's still hope. We just need to get through the slightly rougher patch. For definite, Seb, make it nice and interesting for the Bulls, says John. Right, Matthew Raynell said that scrum was much better from this Bulls side. And now Chris Smith's going to be kicking this one down towards the touchline. Does manage to get that ball out. It's already been 9 minutes in this game, and it seems like it's going to be a relatively even back and forth for the first 20 or so, and then I think we're going to get to see a little bit more of a breakthrough. The Bulls haven't had a huge amount of attack which I think is why Exeter Chiefs are still well and truly in this one. It looks like they want to take that one quickly. Jack Innard says, no, thank you. I actually want a towel. Very handy. The wet ball. These conditions quite late in South Africa at the moment, sitting about 7:40 p.m., I believe it is. Now, nice run from Sam Simmons, passes off to David Ewers, the loose forwards of the Exeter Chiefs, link it up nicely, and Maunda goes off to the left-hand side, pass back, a lot of pressure on Joe Simmons. Player leaving his feet there for the Bulls, asking for the penalty. The only penalty that was going to happen was against him. Now, Nassim Carr, clean turnover in the breakdown. He is brilliant at getting in there. Now, Mornay Smith lined up with a big shot from Henry Slade. And what about Oxwagon Hamish? That would probably take a little while, I would think. More than 12, at least. Probably more than 12 to just get out of a certain region. And imagine their stamina and arms after rowing from Pretoria to Exeter. They all look like Popeye, says Sebastian. True. Rowing's real good for you, isn't it? But it can also really hurt after doing it for like 2 minutes. I've learned that from the gym. You know, you think, right, I've got a big row in me today. You do like, I don't know, 15 of those, and then you're like, nah, actually, rowing's quite difficult. Because I don't know the technique for rowing on a rowing machine. Because you think you should be using all arms, but you're supposed to use like your spine as well, aren't you, or your back. But I just end up burning out my arms after 2 minutes or so. That was a great turnover from Nassim Carr in the breakdown. 11 minutes in. Still a bit of a chess battle out there. 40 metres out from their own line here, the Bulls. They will have themselves a scrum. There's been minimal to talk about for the first 11 minutes. It's been a lot of scrums near the halfway line. Not a lot of attacking rugby from either side yet. Like I mentioned, that should change once these two finish their filling out process. That scrum's moving way too much, and the Bulls do get themselves the penalty for that one. I think that Scott Seo's been penalised on that far side up against Mornay Smith. Angling in. In fact, they're going to say it's against Jack Innard. Although now they are saying that it's Scott Seo who's penalised. So they were showing Innard, but they meant Seo, I guess. Just 23 men on the sea, enjoying the sheer saltiness of the occasion, says Sebastian. Tell you what, 23 men in a boat, you'd go relatively quickly, wouldn't you? Maybe not in the sea, but in like a lake, you'd go all right. Who's the Chiefs 10? I heard he was better than Marcus, says John Mills. So he is Joe Simmons. Maybe future option for 10 for England. I don't know if he's better than Marcus Smith, though. Currently, maybe, because Smith's still... Is he injured, Sebastian? Is that why he's not playing for them, or is he just not playing minutes at the moment? But yeah. I'd say Marcus Smith's still a little bit better. Joe Simmons, though, decent player. And just needs more game time, I think, is the big thing for him. That's going to be a bounce pass there, nicely taken by Chris Smith. Now the Bulls' best attacking chance of the game for them so far. Zach Berger, just outside of the 22, gives it off to Ruanokia again. The advantage in favour of the Bulls for the offside. Scott Seo running straight, and Mako van Staren and drives him backwards by a metre or two. Zach Berger now back into the pocket. Gives it off to Heinrich Lowe, and they're going back for the initial penalty for offside. Can't be asked, it seems, says Sebastian. Wait, so he's not even injured. He's just chilling. I guess, how long till the players who are in the England squad and whatnot do need to go? Have they already gone? I'm trying to look through at this lineup because I know that they haven't got Stuart Hogg. Henry Slade, I think, would be in the English lineup, though. Same with Jack Knoll. So, don't know. Is he in the... Surely he's playing against Racing 92 tomorrow, isn't he? I would have him in there just to give him some minute. There we go. Harlequins versus Racing 92. Number 10. Oh, no, he's back. He's ready to go. So that will mean that the Exeter Chiefs, the Harlequins, they should be able to chase down 20 points from behind rather than about that 10 to 15 that they have been. Now around the side, Johan Rubler breaks off with the rolling maul, tries to stretch out. Great defence from Solomon Kata, but now the short pass off. Ram Vermak close to the line. Now the Bulls looking to attack. Zach Berger drops his head just 1 metre out, and it's another advantage. This might be considered cynical here from the Exeter Chiefs. I don't think it was intended that way. It's just how it's worked out with the being so close to the line. Now around the side, Heinrich Lowe. Close, but no cigar for that man now. Mako van Staren Back now to Zach Berger. Great shot on him. And it is going back for the penalty. No, the England players are not yet away for the Six Nations preparation. He's back. There you go. Says Sebastian. And also Scott Seo, part of the Wallaby setup. Hamish, he normally is. I don't think they've got a game coming up for a relatively long time. Used to be part of the Brumbies setup, but didn't end up going overseas to the Exeter Chiefs. But yeah, he won't be taking part in Super Rugby Pacific this year. Slate's the only Exeter player that will get in Borthwick's England 23, says Easy Ollie. Do you think that's Sam Simmons or Jack Noel? Those are probably my next two that have a chance. The Bulls, nice short pass over the line. First try of the match, and it is going to number 8 on Rick Lowe. I mentioned that him versus Simmons was going to be a great battle. And we've just seen them cross the line here for the first time in the match at Loftus. I'll be happy with that. 15 minutes and 5-0. Do the English players stay in a hotel? I'd assume so. Oh, actually, no. Probably when they're on the road, they might just... Oh, no, you would stay for a week. I was going to say when they're on the road, they might just travel down or travel up for the day and then head back. But you'd like to think they get at least maybe 1 or 2 nights accommodation out of it. Now, Simmons and Noel won't make the 23, says Easy Ollie. Because I guess it depends on what their game plan is, really, whether or not they need that extra option. Who are your 2 number 8s? It's probably Vunipola and maybe Dombrandt. Then Easy Ollie, unless you're not going with a spare number 8, maybe you've got a spare loose forward on the bench who's not your 8. The only reason I can see Simmons in that 23 would be if they decide to have him as 6 backup as well as 8. So having both options, but then saying that, Dombrandt normally doesn't go too badly playing either. Coming you Quinn says Scrumless. And also Dombrandt and Tom Willis. It sounded like, okay, so he's got Dombrandt as the option. So no Vunipola. Interesting. I guess it's one of those ones with Billy that when he's in form, you keep him in there, but when he's out of form, he normally loses his spot and takes a long time to get it back. And Mercer, when he plays or when he comes back from Montpellier, I think Peter Schnickeling is underrated, says Scrumlass. Another penalty goes the way of the Bulls. Looked like Zach Berger thought about taking it quickly, trying to catch the opposition off guard. No one cared that he was going to be doing that quick tap. Now Chris Smith will be able to kick this one into touch again. Like I mentioned, quite a stop-start fixture between these two sides at the first 15 minutes. The Bulls starting to build momentum now, though. So, question, which I probably should know the answer to, but it has been a busy week. When do they announce the Six Nations squads? Are we at that stage yet, or is it still a little bit further? Or have they already done it? And also, Vunipola might get a go, given the Saracens' outstanding season. Says Sebastian, that's going to be another mistake. Luckily for the Bulls, it's worked out in their favour. The knock on from the Exeter Chiefs. I see Bismarck Duplessis out there on the field. That is the replacement for Johan Rubler, who has gone off the field. And the squad announced on Monday. Okay, so we're not too... Oh, it's only 2 days away. Getting close. I move Maro to 8. Get another lock if I was Coach Hamish. Wait, so you move... Oh, okay. Maro Itoje to 8. I don't think I've heard anyone say that before. I've heard Maro Itoje to 6 is one that we've heard before, but not Maro Itoje to 8. I think for me, I'd leave him at lock because at the moment for England, they've got a lot of great loose forwards just around the corner from breaking onto the scene. So, yeah, I don't think you need to do the reshuffle. You don't want to make the mistake that the ABs have done in the past, and that is playing players out of position for the sake of playing them out of position. Like Maro, he's a good player, but I think something that makes him so dangerous is that line out, being able to be the first man in there, either catching the ball or trying to stop that rolling ball. And if you take him away from that option, I mean, you've still got Johnny Hill. Who else have they got in locks at the moment for England? Johnny Hill, he got suspended in one of those games of the November internationals. No, when did they play Australia? It might have been November. Oh, no, that was earlier on that he got headbutted. That's going to be straight through. That came out of nowhere. Just a line out. Nice play from the Exeter Chiefs. And then it's Josh Hodge who goes in and gets himself the try for the Exeter Chiefs. Now they are going to be back in the match. Big Norm Maxwell at number 8, says Sebastian. I'll have to mention it to him the next time I talk to him. See if he's keen. Hey, man, how's it going? It's really nice to see you back here, says CH Mobile. I didn't realize, I guess how, well, I know that we have been quite active, but I've realized now that, 5 days since we've done our last live stream, a lot of people think that we've been away on holiday or something like that. Laws at 6. Yeah, that is true, Courtney Laws. Very good option there. But yeah, it is good to be back, I guess. He's not big enough at lock Hamish, in my opinion, says John Mills. Isn't he? But then you look at some of the number 8s around the world, and you'd have to say he's probably not big enough for 8. You look at Dombrand, who's a beast of an individual. Sam Simmons, he's quite bulky. As on, England always like to have that big number 8 off the back. Because you look at it through history, even recently, you've got someone like a Billy Vunipola. They like to stick someone with a lot of size, a lot of grit, and grind at number 8. So I don't think Maro slots into that position any more than he would slot into his regular at lock. I feel like you'd stick him there. And Willis, Earl, or Pearson, says Easy Ollie. And also we have got there Curry is injured for the Scotland game. So someone else gets to go. Excellent, says Sebastian there. And bloody Curry at 7. I hate Curry, says Sebastian. He seems to be a player who splits opinions, doesn't he, Tom Curry. All gone high. Waiting for this one to come down. It's nicely taken by Heinrich Lowe just outside of the 22 now. Apparently the score 7 points to 7 between these two sides. Now backline movement starting to open up. Harold Foster, another advantage. The Exeter Chiefs cannot really afford to give away so many penalties in a row here. Another nice tackle. Only 1 try apiece for both of these sides. They'll be chasing 3 more for that bonus point. Tackled, release. Once again, they're offside. They need to stop doing that. It's a drop ball from Foster, so it hasn't cost them dearly there. What's Curry done, says Easy Ollie. I know for some people they hate how annoying he can be in the breakdown in terms of being able to get in there and get the turnovers. But then also I think it's, what makes you not like him, Sebastian? I remember there was a reason last Six Nations, I think. Otoje is a talisman of the Pommies, in my opinion. And it's like Dwayne was for the box, says John. I still don't know if I see him going to 8, being perfectly honest, just because I don't think he's the build that England use. And he probably, in terms of number 8 options, you'd probably put him about maybe 10th or 15th on the list if he was there. Plays for the Sharks. He can't be trusted, says Sebastian. True. No, I see, says Easy Ollie. Speaking of Sale Sharks, did they win? I don't think they did. I think they missed out. Who were they playing? They were playing an Irish team, I think. Might have been Ulster. Was it Ulster? No, they were playing Toulouse and got beaten 27 points to 5. They're not the best scoreline for the Sale Sharks, but Chris Smith, they've decided to take on the 3 points here for the Vodacom Bulls. So it should be a nice, easy tap over, which it is. Now making the score 10 points to 7 in favour of the home side. So a relatively close one early on. Now Toulouse hammered them. There's Easy Ollie at Sharks and Carries being top of the table makes me want to flip a car. Scrum lads. And a man sent off after 20 minutes, though, says Easy Ollie. So, yeah, they'll always make it tough for a side. Just looking through at some of the other results so far, we've seen Leicester. They won their game up against Clermont. Leinster won their game up against Gloucester. Sharks won up against Bordeaux. Munster, narrow victory up against Northampton, 27 points to 23. So we've seen a majority of games actually be runaways other than Munster, Northampton. So hopefully this one is relatively close as well. Like I mentioned at the start of the game, if it's within 7 points, I'd be pretty happy. Zach Berger now, ball available, puts it high. Just outside of his 22, the Exeter Chiefs waiting for this one to come down. Nicely taken by this try scorer, Josh Hodge. Just staying in the field of play, only marginally, just enough. Scott Seo now. One of the first carries we've seen from him, and Bismarck Duplessis gets into the breakdown, gets the clean turnover. Now Zach Berger thought about going around the side of the breakdown, gives it off to Bismarck. He's had quite an impact since making his way onto the field for Johan Rublo, who I believe might have been getting an HIR now. Backline movement. Here comes Curtly Arinsa. We haven't seen him with the ball in hand. Gives it off to Similani. Inside ball, David Creel with the big fend. And it's the try for the Bulls. It is that easy when they get that backline smooth and moving. And Montana Man sent off in 20 or after 20 as well. And we're up 24-0 at halftime. Jeez, that would have been one that a lot of people would have been nervous about if you're from Munster. But the first try for David Creel in the Champions Cup. That will now give them a 15-7 lead with the kick to come, who's the centre combo for the Pommels Hamish. That's crucial for mine. So I would say what they will go with is probably, to be honest, they'll probably go Farrell and Slade. That might be the combo they look at. I don't know if that's necessarily what I would go with, but I think for safety's sake, starting the competition, they'll probably go Farrell and Slade. Tuolangi's an option in there. Just look at Tuolangi. Used to be brilliant before joining the Sharks. Bloody Sharks. Breaking people's spirits, says Sebastian. See, that's the thing. If Tuolangi can get through a Six Nations without getting injured, that would be huge. And also we'll pick Dan Kelly at 12 and Slade at 13. Says Easy Ollie. Okay, so a little bit of a mixture. And Faz at 10. And also Morning Amish just got up. Oh, my team's ahead, says Spidermink. They certainly are. And they do not add the extra 2 points. So the score will remain 15 points to 7 in favour of the Vodacom Bulls. And come on, Chiefs. Grab them by their tiny horns, Marina, Mr. Hamish, says Nate. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well indeed. Early for yourself in Australia. Are you working or are you just up at a random hour? Nathan, do let me know. Hasn't Bismarck retired? Yeah, Hamish, he's a fossil now, isn't he? He is, but he's still a relatively well-working fossil, I guess you could call him. I mentioned at the start of the game, if his discipline's good, he actually plays pretty well. But if he gets the discipline wrong, he just ends up with a yellow card. And then that normally, I guess, dampens his performance. Hey, howdy, y'all. Or hey, y'all. Welcome to Chili's, says Scrum Lass there. Only 26 minutes in. It's going to be the scrum feed now for the Exeter Chiefs inside of the 22. So a good attacking opportunity here for the away side to try and get another try for the end of the first half. Bismarck, Duplessis and Monet Stain. I like the two drunks who don't know when to call it a night, says Sebastian. Yeah, because we've seen a lot less of Monet Stain recently. So I think he's like, yeah, nah, maybe it's time to save myself for the next British and Irish Lions tour. But Bismarck's just like, nah, I'll get in there. See how we go. Like, I feel like he's not as, I guess, committed sounds harsh, but maybe not as committed as he was. It's more of just he knows that he's still decent, so he'll go out there and he'll play all right. And then that's about it. Like, he's not getting another bot call-up, I don't believe, for himself. And if he did, I would be very surprised. Back across to the right-hand side, Scott Seo tries to spin out of that challenge now. Harry Williams around the side of the breakdown. Mako van Starren making a nice tackle there on him. Maunder to the right-hand side. Big contact on Sam Simmons. Throws his body at Nassam Khan now off to the right again. Joe Simmons short ball to Solomoni Kata. Just did the pump fake and it didn't quite work out. Now Arinsa losing his footing. Woodburn tackles him into touch. I thought he was out. The ref says no. And now it's actually going to be a Vodacom Bulls line-out throw. Men after my own heart, says John. That's going to be a line-out for the Bulls. How close was Arinsa to putting this ball into touch? And hey, Mrs., happy birthday to you, Mum. Or to you and your mum. Okay, Dad sending blessings from our whānau, says Nate there. 5 minutes left in the half. The Bulls with some solid defence so far throughout this match. Johan Grobler actually now back out on the field, so I believe he must have passed his HIA. And now Bismarck gets to go back to the bench for now. Kick downfield from Chris Smith. Good distance on that one. Just goes into touch. And Jack Knoll decides against the line-out throw. Now, that's the thing. With a kick like that, he's made it so that the Exeter Chiefs are about 42 metres out from their line, from inside of their 22. And that is actually a very underrated skill to have, is getting those far kicks downfield just into touch. Sometimes they look like they're simple to do, but to get it that far down the field, and that was not very straight from the Exeter Chiefs, but it's going to be play on. Yeah, it's very impressive from Chris Smith when he has that angle available. And also Smith fought him, or Farrell. Is a tough 10 decision by the World Cup time, though, says Easy Ollie. And yeah, if you look at an injury, I guess who's your next guy that you'd bring into 10? Would you go with Joe Simmons, or do you think there's another guy, another brilliant kick from David Creel this time of the Bulls? Races into touch, and now he's got the Exeter Chiefs under pressure just outside of their own 22. In fact, no, that's actually gone out 40 metres out, apparently. And currently, the live win probability is it has a 56% chance that the Vodacom Bulls go on and get themselves a win. Are you Pisces, you and your mum Hamish, when's your B-day? Says John. So I am a Sagittarius. I am in December. And my mum's in July. And I'm not sure what she is in July in terms of star signs. She might be a Leo. Is that a star sign in July? But she's July 14th. So I'm sort of sure someone knows their star signs. Now, nice carry forward from Scott Seo. Going off to the right-hand side again. David Ewers on a breakthrough. Nice tackle from Johan Grubler, recently returning out to the field. Solomon Kata, first carry for him. I say first carry as he did drop the last one. Maunda off to the left now. Nice sell of the dummy from the big man. Jenkins almost going through. Oh, Maunda's lost it. Good tackle from Nokia. Put the pressure on. Has cancelled the crab. Says Scrumley's there. No works tonight, boss. Boss still recovering from a hot day. 40 plus degrees. That's a bit warm. I was dying today, says Nate. See, I thought it was warm enough on a day the other day when we had about 25. But 40, just a bit too warm, I think. Good evening, Amish from a warm Pretoria, South Africa, says Alfie. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well at the moment. The Bulls, they've got themselves a nice lead of 8 points. 9 minutes left in the first half. Looks like a decent crowd as well on Loftus, which is very nice to see for this matchup. I believe it's actually their last home game of the Champions Cup. Unless, of course, they are in those top qualifying positions, then they will have a few more home games just around the corner. But with the way that the table sits, might be relatively tough for them to be right up the top. That's going to be another penalty going against the Bulls at scrum time. And now it's actually going to be the warning. Okay. Referee, I believe there wasn't really a last warning. That was just, I'm going to tell you what your man's done wrong 3 times. He rolled the shoulder. That's what Matthew Reynal has said. And also, we have got their time to rugby and chill now, brother, says Scrumless, and that's French Independence Day, Amish. Is that an omen for the Frogs? I wonder, Amish, says John. Right, so you think that my mum's birthday is an omen to the French Independence Day? But she's not French. In fact, I don't even know if she knows any French. Now, line out throw. Nicely taken there. Now 5 meters out from the line. Looks like the rolling ball should be relatively well set, but the Bulls defending it well. So they're driving it towards the touchline, but now it straightens. And now there's going to be a bit of danger here. Looks like it's getting close to the touchline. Still slowly creeping forward. Now they wheel round. Pile with bodies. They're going to have to go upstairs. No, I'd say try. Matthew Reno is seen grounding, and the Exeter Chiefs get themselves back into the contest. No, the World Cup winners guy, says John. No, the World Cup winners guy. So, okay. Wait, so you're saying that French Independence Day is on the same day as my mum's birthday, so they're going to win the World Cup? Is that the system we've got? Maybe. And Arohanui to you and your fun house, my bro. The handsome Mr. Vampire Solid Works, Sebastian, says no, and can't wait for Borthwick to get our scrum battering the Saffers like this, says Easy Ollie. It was a great rolling maul. Who ended up? Oh, Solomon Kata was actually the man who managed to get that ball down. They saw the grounding. It makes the score 12 points to 15 and 100 misses. Let's go. Did I say that in a cool way, Nate, or did I sound really lame? 100. 100's quite a fun word to say, though, isn't it? It's like, in it. And the same to you, Nate. Big respect and love. I reversed it. Sorry. Big love and respect. Now, Joe Simmons, tough kick, but he has got it over. That will now make the score 15 points to 14 in favour of the Bulls. Just a 1 point difference between these two guys, or these two sides. And how is Canon Moody doing in this game? We've actually only seen him once, and that was in the second minute, I believe, of the game. Other than that, I don't think I've seen Canon Moody with the ball in his hand. So perhaps, yeah, not that well per se, just because we haven't seen him with it enough. The one time that he did get the ball, it was actually when he was offside. So, yeah, hopefully he has a better second half. And yes, exactly, average 100%, says John Mills. I see. It's going to be nicely taken by Henry. Slade waits for that one to bounce through the hands of his lock Jenkins. Now, Maunda looks like it's going to be available for him. At the back, it pops out the side. Cleaned up. David Ewers now. And the legs driving. Right, they're outside of the 22 now. Commentators had to throw in that David Ewers was born in Zimbabwe. Oh, everyone's allowed to dive on the guy. Jack Maundy took too long. Nassim Carr gets on the ball again and wins another turnover penalty. Is Jake around, Davis? Says John Mills. I believe he'll be somewhere at the ground. Oh, looks like Nassim Carr may have done some damage to his shoulder here. Is he going to be all right? He's pushing up off it, so that is good news. But he might have just got a bit of a stinger on the back of the neck. By the looks of that. Nassim Carr so far, 2 turnovers, 1 throughout this match. He has been very good at picking what breakdown to go after that ball. But yeah, Maunda, he did end up rolling it back and then had it in his hands, decided that he'd go for the kick eventually. But by then, the South Africans were already all over him. I think it will be a tough game for both sides. I hope, however, that the Bulls win with the bonus point, says Alfie. Oh, Ron Nokia got absolutely creamed by his teammate, Vermaak. I didn't see that in real time, but Nokia, the fact that he's still running around out there after eating the shoulder of his teammate, it's quite impressive. As that would have really hurt the nose, I would think. Now the rolling maul, Heinrich Lowe, at the front, keeping it rolling for Johan Grubler at the back there. Now Zach Berger, 5 meters out from the line and 4 minutes left in the half here. Going to be back again into the hands of Ruan Nokia. Around this side, chopped out from down low by Harry Williams. David Ewers almost getting onto that ball. Sam Simmons saw the opportunity to go around the side of the breakdown and smashes into the Bulls. But what are we hearing now? Tackle without the arm, I think, for Sam Simmons here. Okay. Just a penalty. No arms tackle. It might have been against Harry Williams, in fact, there. The temperature differential is so great. The Savas is at least 35 degrees in the Republic right now, says John Mills. Right, so they're only a few meters out from the line. The time is off now. I do see. A moment. Here we go. Maybe. Did I unmute? Yeah. Unmute? Yes, I did. Now run around the side. Grobler. In fact, it was Stenkamp. Only inches from the line. Zach Berger goes across to Johan Horsen. Sorry, he's not on the field yet. Johan Grobler. That's going to be the try now for the Bulls. Just a bit too strong. And they're only a couple meters out from the line. Who is going to win? I believe that we should see the Bulls winning this match, and that's not just because they've scored the try. They've got home field advantage, and that seems to be the trend of this Champions Cup, is if you're at home, you have a very good chance of winning. Unmute, says Sebastian. Yeah, didn't quite get through that word the way that I wanted to. Have you still got hay fever, Hamish? Every once in a while, like, it's nice and early in the morning here at the moment, 7:10 a.m. That was a great run, though, from Stenkamp. Unlucky to not go over because he was inches from crossing the white line. Well recycled from the Bulls, though. They managed to get it back out. And then it was just a matter of time. Grobler got close. And then around the side, it was Vermaak who was able to score it in the end. Yeah, very nicely done by the Bulls. That will now put them up to 20 points. They just need one more try, and they will have a bonus point in this matchup. I can't tell if it's raining there or if it's just really like the camera playing tricks. I don't believe it's raining, though. I think it's relatively dry. There's a little bit of dew around, of course. Chris Smith lining up another kick here, currently sitting 2 from 3. And the kick is successful. No. How did he miss that? He's missed, though. So that is going to make the score 20 points to 14 now, with only another 1 minute and a half before we get into halftime in this matchup. But that is a mistake that Chris Smith certainly wouldn't have wanted to make, as it could be costly throughout this matchup. It is going to be kicked off high by the Exeter Chiefs, waiting for this one to come down just on the 22, nicely taken by Nokia, tackled by Noel. Also had a relatively quiet game, so maybe it's just the number 14s that we aren't going to see too much of throughout this match. Why is this such a high-scoring game, Hamish? Can't decide to tackle at all, says John Mills. I mean, I think it's just a testament to the style that both of these sides play. It's pretty much hit or be hit. And we've seen some great tries scored throughout it. And the thing is, the tries haven't so much been from big line breaks or anything like that. I think the only line break try we have seen is actually Josh Hodges. Every other one has just been that physicality of the big forwards. Rolling maul for the Exeter Chiefs. We also saw that kind of rolling maul for the Bulls and just using some pure force to get over. It's not raining. We've had a very hot sunny day here in Pretoria, says McNon. And also, it's not raining, just very hot, says Alfie there. And he kicks to the left, he kicks to the right. Christopher Smith, his kicking is bad, says Sebastian. Yeah, hasn't had the best game. Currently 2 from 4 for the kicking department here, Chris Smith. So far throughout this match, we have seen 3 lost Bulls scrums and 1 lost Exeter scrum. So we have actually seen a lot of scrums going against the feed so far, but that is the siren sounding at the moment. The Bulls with a 6-point lead may consider just getting this one out the back and kicking it into touch. Could be a good option here for them. The ball is fed in. Looks like it's only made it about halfway. So now Chris Smith, he's taken that from somewhere where I don't know whether or not he's necessarily allowed to take it. It was only in about the second row. He got it through the side, but Harold Foster, nice drive forward. David Ewers tries to get over the ball. It looks like the Bulls want one last attack. Tried to kick it into touch. It does bounce out in the end. So Vermaak. Zach Berger was asking why was he kicking, but I think Zach Berger should have been the one who kicked that one out. I watch a Lion up against that stat discipline, let them down. The line says Spider-Man. Yeah, they didn't end up losing that game by a relatively narrow margin, which was a shame because they both looked like they were going to be going out there and having a good performance. I don't know, was Lau Mape playing in that game? Or has he gone away from Stat Francais now? Is he in a different competition? The Vodacom Bulls, you know it's true, says Munchin too. And also we've got there's Josh Hodge related to the Scottish Stuart Hogg, Hamish? No, I think you've almost answered your own question just by the way you've spelt them. And so many cricket leagues going on, BBL, SA Cricket League, BA, Bangladesh League. Any plans to cover any matches, says Coding? We're hoping to do a little bit more of the BBL. The South African T20, I learned, isn't actually on Sky or Spark Sport, but it's on a different subscription thing on the ICC to be able to watch it. And next they haven't played well all season in the Premiership. It'll be a good win if they can play like the old, or like of old, says Amon there. Hopefully I've said that correctly. I know we had an Amon back in my cricket team in the day. One of the quick bowlers for us. And all right. They are just showing the Women's World Cup. It is not too far away. I believe that starts in the next few weeks. Or is that too soon? It might be a little bit later. There's actually a lot of competitions going on around the world. They're showing the tennis now. And yeah, the tennis has been rolling. Me and my mum played tennis the other day. I ran into a concrete wall because I tried to do like an overhead hit. Couldn't stop in time and just smacked straight into it. I think I'm starting to get more injury prone from sitting here. I've not seen you for a long time, says Connor Crowley. So welcome back to the channel, mate. We have been away for a little while in terms of we haven't done anything on the channel for about, how long has it been? Maybe 5 days, somewhere around there. Josh and Resod related, that is a better question. They're both fullbacks, though. So they do have something in common. I think they are, to be honest. Josh Hodge looks a lot like Reese. Josh Hodge. Oopsies. Josh Hodge. Actually, no, I might take that back. He doesn't look as much like Reese Hodge as I thought he did. So he's no relation. He's got 9,931 followers on Instagram. That's an interesting stat to have before they show his weight or his height or anything like that. Yeah, goes all right. Not related, though. I do see. And also, we've got there Bangladesh W beat Australia W in the Under-19 World Cup upset. And also, as Nikki Evans selected as attack coach for England. Oh, not sure. I need to look a little bit more into the English setup, I think, because I've kind of forgotten who's all in there to an extent. Like that and like that. There we go. I forgot to the Prey T20 World Cup has the Prey T20 World Cup was happening. There's Sebastian in there. But yeah, there's so many comps. And it's hard to follow them all. Like, that's the thing. Sometimes I'd like to do more BBL games. I feel like I've been a little bit slack with that competition to an extent, but then it's also been like normally at the time that it starts, it ends up in the scenario of I've just finished working. I've either gone down to the cricket nets after or done some sort of evening activity. And then I get home and it's normally like 10 minutes before the game starts. And I'm like, yeah, I'll do tomorrow's game. And then I end up doing the exact same thing in terms of getting home just before it starts or just as it's starting and being like, well, yeah, I didn't get that right. Why don't you cover the Black Cats' great victory in the last ODI average? Says John Mills, mainly because I needed some sleep. It's been a busy week. And I don't think I've had a single week or a single day this week that I've actually got the amount of sleep I normally aim for. So it's not ideal, but that's what it is. Catch up on sleep at some stage. The Sixth National Championship next month, says Connor. And also, isn't it Sean Edwards, says John Mills. Sean Edwards as the attacking coach? Not sure. Should I do a Google quickly? I'll go England rugby coaches. Oops, I hit the cat lock. Normally they'd have it on their website. There we go. The men's senior team. I think they've still got Eddie Jones as their head coach on the England website. Do you agree with Australian cricket stand to abandon series against Afghanistan due to political situation going on against women? Says Coding. I'll be honest with you, Coding. I haven't read into it, so I think I would be a silly man to comment on it. And I have the deck go, Hamish. Nah, it looks good. I should have taken a picture of it. But yeah, it's nice. So the attacking coach at the moment, they say it's Martin Gleeson, but that might be old. And the forward coach is Richard Cockerell. So if those are correct, then that's the case. Also, Jack Willis is a beast, says Nate. But yeah, the deck, I should have taken a photo, like I said, because it looked quite nice. I had to hammer in a lot of nails on that deck. And it rained, and it was sunny, and then it rained, and then it got hot. The guy said he saw a wallaby in his backyard, and we're in town. So that's an interesting scenario. I didn't see the wallaby personally. It happened while we were on lunch. A deck pick? Yep. Would be, wouldn't it? But yeah, looked good. Looked smooth. Did you see the Munster match? Sadly, I did miss that one, but I did see the result. So that Munster narrowly able to get themselves that victory, which they will be very happy about at the end of the day. As long as they're winning games for Munster, that's the main thing. Because when you think about how they started the season, like it was not how they wanted to. And I think they definitely know that. What I'm going to do is go like this and go like this as well. Looking at the odds for this game, the Bulls are still favourites. Understandable with them being 6 points ahead. Go like that and like that as well. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, Bulls is the favourites. Nick Evans, the attack coach for England, says Spider Mech, and also that wood, or what wood did you use, Hamish? A hardwood? Geez, I think it's just called, to be honest, it's called decking timber. I'll have a look and see if I can find what exact type it was, but it was the one with the little indentations. What would you call it? You've got a name for it. Decking timber. What we got? It was not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. It was grip tread decking timber. I'm not sure what the exact type was. It could have been radiata. It could have been, what else we got? No, it wasn't that one. Yeah, it might have been radiata or quilla. I wasn't there when he picked it out. I was just there to put it together. And thank goodness Munster pulled through. And then it genuinely seemed like Northampton were going to complete the comeback. Says Sebastian, and also up the Munster. Cheers, Nate, there. But yeah, this is just me looking at like deck timber on Mitre 10. So depending on where they got the timber from, it could have been a different one. O'Connor is doing okay. Speaking of Munster, Gavin Coombs is a beast. He certainly is. Very handy player. And Ireland are in that same scenario. They've got too many loose forwards. Like, how do you fit in like 7 loose forwards into a squad? You just can't really. Well, you can fit them in the squad. You just can't fit them in the lineup. Which is something that they would have absolutely loved to have going into the Six Nations. I assume that they announced their Irish squad sometime relatively close to when England announced their squad. Everyone would be around that same week. This weekend, we've got the Hamilton Sevens. And haven't seen Connor in months, so I hope he's doing all right. Says Sebastian. Yeah, you always wonder whether or not they got just sick of me, whether they got busy, or whether something's happened. And you always hope it's either the first or the second one. Because it's like Steve Smith. You know, he was here each and every week, and then all of a sudden, boom. And then he came back and said hi, and then he disappeared again. So I think it's one of those situations that normally it's just when people get busy or they get sick of hearing me talk. One of those two, which I don't mind, to be honest, because I do talk a lot. I think a lot of people would get sick of me eventually. Some of you guys, I don't know how you do it. But I should mention, for you guys who are here, we got a few secrets that we can reveal, which is that our cricket season starts in 2 weeks' time. So hopefully we are going to be back to doing our GoPro footage. That is something you guys want to see more of, which includes another umpires video that will be coming out in about 3 days' time. It just took a long time to get it back after the hard drive blew up, because pretty much I needed all of the footage off there. Because the videos were about 15 minutes, they all took, I believe it was, around that 3.5 hour mark to export all of them onto the hard drive so that I could use them. So that's been what I've been doing the last few days as well. Will Sexton be the captain again, Hamish? Either him or, I guess, Peter O'Mahony, I think will be the two. And yeah, where did Steve Smith go? Hope he's okay, says Scrum Lass. Yeah, I think he might have been just into the busy season, hopefully. Finally got signed by the Canterbury Kings then, just in time for the Plunkett Shield Day, says Sebastian. Well, I can say no, but I have ended up in the scenario where I've gone a little bit more aggressive in my batting. I've been practicing in the nets trying to smack the ball, because 3 off 21 not winning your no games. And that's a fact. So, yeah, I've been looking at more attacking options. I've been bowling a lot recently as well. I've actually switched to medium pace just for now, but I'm working on my leg spin as a side project, which is why I did end up going to the cricket nets 5 times throughout the last 4 days, or 5 days now. So working on it, hoping that pre-season is going to be going well. And my mate, or my workmate, told me after Hamilton Sevens, no more Sevens played here. Hamish confirmed. That is true. Yep. Unfortunately, it is going to be missing out. Hamish, you are a very good actor. That's very good commentary. Haven't really tried acting, to be honest. No, we're not showing that footage. Okay. I was going to say about when I was younger, like for school, you know, how you had to, like, in primary school, do the plays and whatnot. I might have had a dress on at one point. One of those. And gumboots. It was a weird one. And have you reverted to type Hamish, playing off the back foot? Says John. I mean, I've played off the back foot a little bit more in the past than I did in that innings. Mainly because I don't really know. It just stayed low on that pitch. I thought there weren't really any that troubled me too much in terms of that height, and a lot of it looked like I was going to be able to get forward to it. And I was a nemesis. The best part is when you're here, you ain't missed much, says Nate. And there as well. But currently, I don't think we're too far away from the second half getting underway. And no lie, I got a karate chop action Buzz Lightyear for my birthday, and it's my favorite gift. 10 out of 10, says KT there. A karate chop action Buzz Lightyear. Interesting. So is that one how, like, I used to have one that was a wrestler. I think it was the Big Show, how, like, you pull his arm back and then it would fire around and go like that. Is it like that? How maybe you press a button and he goes like that, maybe? Is it a karate chop? I've never understood people who can karate chop. Because, like, if I hit that on anything, that's like breaking my hand rather than what I'm karate chopping. Yeah, I collect Toy Story toys. See a scrum lass in there? Nice. Because I know that you had a Woody one, I think you've mentioned before. A Woody with the hat and whatnot. It's the button on his back of his jetpack. I see. You give it a quick little chop. I'm just looking at deck timber at the moment, to be honest. It could have been Ria Data, merch grade grip tread. Maybe. It looks similar anyway to what I put on the guy's deck. But yeah, there were a lot of nails that went into that deck. It was actually quite a large square area. Bruce Lee, says John Mills. It's like taking calf kicks, isn't it? Or giving calf kicks in UFC. How you look like that. Or you look at like the guys and they're like, oh, for training, I like to kick a tire just to strengthen it up a little bit more. And it's like, oh, yeah, fair enough. But like, yeah, kick a tire and hit your shin with a stick. So you make minor little fractures so that you can then build it up stronger. But then if you go too far with the hairline fractures, then you end up with an injury. So it's a very scientific game, even though it looks like you're just kicking a tree. And yeah, I have a Woody doll. He's my OG BF. And yeah, and when I'm enjoying some time with my doll, I'm a pervert, says Sebastian. What type of doll is it, Sebastian, though? Because that would vary a little bit. Oh, I just realized today is Saturday. No, it's Sunday. It's Sunday today, which means I think George will have a video out on the entertainment channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what video it is. It might be a vlog. It might not be. Van Dam Amish, says John Mills. Oh boy, says Spider Mac. Right. Henry Slade just about to kick off the second half of this Champions Cup fixture. Now, I should mention we will be back hopefully tomorrow night, I believe, is the next game we will be covering of the Champions Cup. And that is the matchup between the Stormers and also the London Irish. Now, that is a brilliant start for the Exeter Chiefs. They've been able to retain their own kickoff, getting from right to left this time. Still looking very nice weather there at the ground. Harry Williams tries to spin out of that tackle. Nicely made by Hurad Stennekamp. Now Exeter looking to be aggressive early on. Jack Noel driven backwards. And that is going to be the knock on. And Sebastian really, and this is Spider Mac. Back across. Yeah, just a big drop goes backwards. Kid friendly, says Grumless. Wait, a kid friendly doll? Maybe. Oh, look, the second half has just kicked off. Unfortunately, don't have time to describe the doll anymore, says Sebastian. 39 minutes left of the game at this stage. I think it might be a vlog, the one on the entertainment channel. I was just thinking about it, trying to work out what his next video is. I would recommend checking that one out. If he edits it the way I think he's going to edit it, it should be quite a funny one. Now, bit of push and shove there between the two halfbacks. Penalty goes the way of the Bulls. Just a nice big push from the forwards. And it was Dolly. Like this deal isn't always kid friendly as well, says Grumlass. That is true. Definitely not on late night live streams. These ones seem to be the one that we sneak into. I would say we're PG-13 on these ones. Feels very, very, what do you call it? Risque. Are they spelt differently? Because some people say risque, don't they? But like that sounds like it has a G in it. and an A and a Y, but I don't think that's how they spell it. And also, is Elon Musk like Bud Lightyear, Hamish? Not really. I think there's a few differences overall. Mainly because he hasn't really got a sidekick. He's got for Woody and yeah, Kiwi lads after dark, says Grunlass, and also ring him up, says Nate. Nice run forward from Harold Foster. Now Zach Berger passes back across Ryan Nokia, short ball Ryan Ricklow. In fact, it was Vermaak that time who got that. Gary Similani knocks it forward. I swear there was a knock on. Similani's claimed it though. They're going to have to go back and have a look at this one, but it could be the try for the Bulls. I think they've said play on whoever that's hit. Apparently it wasn't a Bulls player. Oh, double blow of the whistle here. I think they are going to check it. Okay, original decision is try because we've got a grounding. I thought this was clear as that it was forward. But I could be wrong. My eyes are getting worse in terms of being able to see, which is quite a shame, really, because I quite enjoy looking. But it is what it is. That's why if I go to like any fast food place, I have to know my order off by heart. Try yes or no. Or it's flat. He might get lucky with this one, Johan Grobbler. Yeah, they might say his hands are going backwards. So even though that ball is slightly drifted forward, they may say that it has drifted back enough. And that's a ball's dry, mate. Now, come on now, not even. Says Nate. They're saying he's pulling it back. It does travel flat. They might give him the benefit of the doubt. Jose Elon's from Pretoria, Hamish, says John Mills. Was Buzz Lightyear, though? Okay, they're going to stay on the on-field decision as try. So that is now going to be the bonus point for the Bulls. They are sitting on 25 with the kick to come, which should be nice and easy for Chris Smith. And that will now put them up to 27 points to 14. So they did say his hands travel back enough that it does warrant a try. Kick successful. Now the score's sitting 43 minutes into this game, 27 points to 14. So we've seen 41 points already scored between these two sides. It's a back and forth one, and now the Exeter Chiefs, they need to be the next team to score. And Yahoo says Spider Mech in there as well. It's interesting the fact that we're seeing the Exeter Chiefs go from getting their own kickoff, being way down the field, to now conceding the first try. The half, it's gone short, nicely taken by Aronsa. Had a bit of pressure on him by the Exeter Chiefs chasing after their own kick that time. And also, who's the TMO, Hamish? Someone who speaks French, because he was speaking French to Matthew Raynell, but I'm not sure of the exact name. Now Zach Berger, once again, going to have this one available. Have to put this one up high, and he does so. Now the Exeter Chiefs, looks like there's quite a few men who were going to commit to it, but in the end, Josh Hodge able to take it. Now, I learned that he's only 22, which means he's younger than me. He's currently playing for the Exeter Chiefs, possibly got a bright future for England as well. Great take from Christ Chinza. That's the first carry of the match we've seen for him. Going to be knocked backwards. Sam Simmons, no, they've said now it's knocked forwards, and it's going to be another scrum feed for the Bulls. Come on, Chiefs, fire up, says Nate. Yeah, they look like maybe second half. They had a good first minute, but after that, it seems like that kind of explosiveness has gone away just a tad. Now, another scrum. This is actually about our 7th scrum of the match, I believe. If not, maybe just a little bit higher, but Christ Chinza on the ground. It was just knocked out of his hands, actually, by one of his teammates. I think it was Ollie Woodburn. Tried to go in there and help protect the ball, and instead actually ended up losing it for his side. But we've seen 6 defenders beaten by the Chiefs, 3 defenders beaten by the Bulls. Right, Bulls going to be fed in by Zach Berger. Another penalty in the scrum. I don't think we've seen one scrum that has ended up not going down so far in this match. We might have had 1 out of about 8 at this stage. And also, Bulls are grinding. says John Mills. Yeah, they're working hard. They've got themselves the bonus points, so now it's all about getting that points differential up. Is Imbros Papia going to get game time, says McNaughton? I think they'll give him, I'd say 25 minutes at the end of the game. So maybe another 10 minutes or so before we see him out there on the park. You don't want to leave it too late, seeing as they've got themselves a nice lead. Zach Berge hasn't had a terrible game overall, but yeah, Ambrose Papia, I'm sure he wants to get out there and have a bit of a crack as well. A line out throw, Johan Rubala, 22 metres out from the line. Now the Bulls, it's gone over the top. Nicely taken by Nassim Carr. Fires it back to Berger. Now Cannon Moody. Okay, nice carry from him. Very quiet, though, other than that carry throughout the match. There's going to be a tackle by Dave Ewers. Berger goes back across again. Noel with the quick hands. Sorry, not Noel. I should say it was Arnsa. It's almost tackled by Noel. Hey, Irish bro, how are you? I'm doing very well, mate. Hope you are doing well also. Another big run from Stennekamp. Looks like Nassim Khan might be a bit injured in the back play. Marco van Starren trying to break through the tackle of Christchinza. Gets him down nicely. Zach Berger again goes to Roan Nokia. Around the side. Harold Foster, the pick and drive around the side. Berger looking for the ball. It does bounce out in the end and it becomes Johan Grobler as the halfback. Now Nassim Carr thought about the offload to Similani. Decides to hang on to it a little bit longer and it goes into touch. And Udi Support says, yeah, at this stage for this match, I'm pretty impartial. I do probably cover a little bit more South African rugby than I do English rugby. So I guess, I mean, the Bulls at this stage, they are going very decently in this match. They've got themselves on the board with a bonus point. Exeter Chiefs, one of my favourite clubs in the Gallagher Premiership, I would say, alongside the Harlequins. But that looks like an injury for Heinrich Lowe. Not ideal. The stage of the match. So another 32 minutes to go. It was not straight from the Exeter Chiefs. Oh, a bit of push and shove. Zach Berger right in the mix of it again. I think it was originally a push from the Exeter Chiefs. I'm trying to work out who it was. I think it was Joe Simmons. Oh, in fact, it was Sam Maundu who did a bit of a push. And do any of your Bulls fans know Kennedy Simba, a Zimbabwean guy who played 10 for the Bulls back in the day, says John Mills. And Irish New Zealand won the ODI Series 2-1 against Pakistan last night. They certainly did. Very nicely indeed. There you go. So, Zach Berger, because he is running and tried to instigate a little bit of a scrap, they've actually said that the Exeter Chiefs can have the penalty against Zach Berger. Not smart from the halfback. So I think he's probably going to be relatively close to coming out onto the field now. But Ambrose Papia, missed the half. Hope you're well, Amish. Let's go the Bulls. There's listen and go. Yeah, the Bulls, they're doing very well. Yeah, so Zach Berger ran in, pushed the player off the ball. And now the Chiefs have got the penalty and the ball in their hands. Ollie Woodburn going around Zach Berger, who's been sat down, tries to make the tackle on the second go. Solomon Kata unable to claim that one. It was on his shins, though. Not really getting their passing right at the moment, the Exeter Chiefs. Not finding it right into the breadbasket of the teammates. And they just keep on losing that momentum. Yeah, just a bit too low for Solomon Kata. And also, why don't you cover the ODI, Hamish? Says, Biodomec, the best way of describing why I don't do ODI, at least overseas ODIs, is because they run from 10:30 a.m. to about 6:30 a.m. on weekdays. So a majority of this week I have been working, doing building during the week. So if I'm starting at 8 a.m., I can't really afford to go from 10:30 to 6:30 a.m., sleep for an hour, and then go to work for the full day. It just, yeah, it's not quite ideal timing. But like New Zealand ODIs, like over here, there's a little bit more of a chance just because they will be during the day. But then if I'm working during the day, wow, that's a big shot on Josh Hodge. But yeah, if I'm working during the day, it does make it a little bit harder to fit them in as well. Now, Similani, nice spin. Price Chinza does well to tackle him. It looks like the Bulls still with that go forward and momentum. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Now Jake Noel makes a nice tackle. Dave Ewers tries to get over it. And I will do now Vermaak, one of the try scorers. Wide cut out past the Bulls in space. It's going to be Simalani. He's going to make the pass. He decides to run at the line instead of passing it. But Nassim Carr tries to spin out. Zach Berger sells the dummy, win himself as well. Now looks for the offload, gives it away to the Exeter Chiefs. And Glenn Phillips' magnificent half century was New Zealand's over the line 281 chase. 2 wickets and 11 ball spear, says Vishal. And I've seen Glenn Phillips knock like it's something else. Also the man who got the Black Cats through to the T20 World Cup semis. And do you want me to do it for you, Hamish, the ODIs? Says John, no, it's all right. It's all good. That's going to be a little mistake from Zach Berger. Threw it straight into the header, Stenkamp, and said, you try and catch this, bud, even though I'm only about 2 inches from you. So I think okay, the knock on blue. The Bulls are going to have the scrum, but Matthew Reynal has got a hamstring injury. So he's going to have to be replaced. He's just said to the players, I'm sorry, but I've done something to my hamstring. I can't continue this match. So it's a bit of a shame. And it's something you don't see too often. The last time I saw a referee replaced was when we were watching the Sevens and the Australian referee got cleaned up. Ended up having to go off for his own HIA. Okay, Matthew Reynal said he's picked up a hamstring injury. I cannot run anymore. He's now got his microphone taken off him. They will have a little short intermission here while they change that over. And Amish New Zealand next trip to India just around the corner. 3 ODIs, and after same number of games of T20 series playing also this month, says Vishal. Yeah, big shame for Reynal. Hasn't been too bad throughout this match, I don't think. It's interesting because as a player, normally you're locked into a contract, aren't you? So you're getting paid no matter what. But for a referee, I feel like it must be a little bit different. Maybe they get some money for the games that they should have been refereeing, but he'll be open that hamstring heals extremely quickly. And he can get back out there refereeing the big matches again. Currently, still another 29 and a half minutes. Did Nigel Owens go off one sandwich, says John Mills? That was a little while ago, but yeah. We've seen a few referees cleaned up in the past, but yeah, this Australian one that I was talking about was a bit more recent. That was actually only last year, near the end of the year, that we did see him taken off. In fact, it might have been the Cape Town Sevens that it happened for. Now, I just showing the crowd about 8,600 in attendance, I believe I saw, for this matchup. So it is good to see that they've got so many watching on for this contest. At Loftus. Yeah, the crowd doing almost a Mexican wave there. By the looks of it, that man was waiting for his opportunity to go onto the screen, and then all of his friends stood up, and you could hardly see him. Yeah, we will just have a short stoppage here, mainly because they are putting the microphone on the new referee, which I believe is going to be one of the assistant refs. Will then get promoted to the main referee of this game, and then they will have to find another touch judge. And Hamish Bro, if this ODI series win New Zealand at India, definitely helpful for New Zealand because World Cup also in the same conditions later this year. That is true. So yeah, if they can somehow get themselves a nice win or a nice series win up against India, that will give them confidence. But yeah, it's certainly going to be tough. India, no easy beat when they're at home. Currently home in this game, the Bulls sitting with the bonus point already. No matter what, they walk away from this game with at least 1 point. Maximum 5, minimum 1. Whereas the Exeter Chiefs at the moment, they might walk away from this game with nothing if they can't either get themselves 2 more tries or possibly get themselves some 3-point penalties relatively quickly. And that's the thing. I don't think they can afford to go for the 3s. It looks like we're going to have a new referee. They've got someone on the phone at the moment. I think they're trying to organize what the plan actually is for this one. They're just showing some of the tries again. Zach Berger with a nice pass off into the hands of Heinrich Lowe. He was the first try scorer. David Kriel scored the second. And then we did see the third try of the match scored by the Bulls. And that was the try of Vermaak. Is altitude a big factor against the Chiefs, Hamish, says John Mills? I don't think so. I don't think it's really, I guess, troubled them too much at this point. We haven't seen them slow down. Maybe later on in the game, we might end up seeing a little bit more fatigue. But yeah, currently it doesn't seem like it's really hitting them too hard at all, which is a good sign. Yep, India next on the hit list, says Bottomik. And while we wait, what work do you do during the week? Industry says, listen and go. So I am a part-time builder. So I do end up doing a little bit of building during the week, and then pretty much weekends, it's all YouTube. And currently, I've been doing a little bit more building more recently, just because it's a slightly quieter season before we get into the Six Nations, Super Rugby, everything along those lines. So yeah, I've been squeezing in more building hours, which is why you haven't seen too many live streams throughout this week. But yeah, it's all right. Get to work alongside my dad. So no complaints there. I hope you're doing well, and good to hear your special pronunciations that make me smile. Says Bianca. Welcome in, Bianca. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed your new year. I don't know if we've seen you so far in 2023 on a live stream. I could be wrong in that statement, but I think it's been a little while anyway. So I hope you are keeping well. At the moment, they are just showing all the players staying limber while they're out there, making sure that they don't end up getting too comfortable with standing around while they wait for the referee change. Yeah, Matthew Rain now unable to continue, which then meant that he is going to be going off the field. And the new referee now. Imagine if he ran out there and just did a hammy straight away and had to go back off. Right. Referee's all set. Rearing to go. He looks like he's ready to go. Now, we've seen a lot of scrum penalties already, so it is Thomas Sharabaz as the new referee. So I'm interested to see how this first scrum goes, because the Lorraine has been very strict on what has happened in these scrum penalties, and building is extremely physically demanding, in my opinion, Hamish. Maybe that's why you're tired, I think, says John Mills. Or I think it's also just because I've been sleeping a lot less this week than I should have. Like, I think in total for 5 nights, I've probably had about 25 to 30 hours sleep, whereas normally in 5 nights, I'd aim for somewhere between 40 and 50. That's going to be the penalty to the Bulls. Carabas is straight away given one against Scott Seo, and he's not happy about it. Amish Rowe, New Zealand, Trent Bolton, Southey, and Kane Williamson rested for the series. New fresh team was playing in India. Dom Latham ODI format captain, and Mitchell Satner T20 side, says Vishal. So yeah, it will be an interesting one, because you'd assume India would go with a relatively strong side as well. And also we have got their greetings, my buddies and fabulous Kiwi lads. Just finished 8 hours day of work. How you doing, Amish? Says Roof. Although I didn't have work today, mainly because we are now Sunday here in New Zealand, but I did finish work on Friday. That was all right. Overall, it's good to see that, like, it's actually making progress though as well. That's going to be the try, making progress with the rolling ball here for the Bulls. But the thing is, like, in terms of, I'm normally, the goal while I'm working is to try and save Dad time, because he has got plenty of jobs. Like, once we get into February, we're doing a massive concrete slab, which is going to take a lot of hours, but I'm going to be balancing that out with Super Rugby and the Six Nations while also doing it. But it's good, because I always say about it how it pretty much, like, it just funds the channel. Anyway, we've got a few big ideas that we want to try and make happen. So to be able to do that, we need to build up a budget, and it's kind of what the goal is overall. Johan Rovela does score that try. So now 32 points to 14. I think Ruth means she's finished her day at work. Oh, you just finished 8 hours at work. You did well. And did you get a wage packet on Friday, Hamish? I think you get paid on Thursdays, I believe. Hello, stranger. I hope all is well. I hope all is good. And all the best for 2023. And try my team is running away. And says Spider-Mick and also Bulls have put their boot stamps or get their butts kicked as well. They're doing better this match, says Ruth. That kick is once again unsuccessful for Chris Smith. So it's lucky this game isn't closer because his kicking so far, I believe he has missed out on about maybe 6 points in this contest. And also, how's it, Hamish, brother? I hope you're all well here. All cool, says Birdie V. I am all well indeed. You're doing well, Birdie. I hope you're excited for the game tomorrow night between the London Irish and the Stormers. That will be an interesting contest. Not sure if we're doing Racing 92 versus Harlequins yet. Although it has been a long time since we've done a Harlequins game. So I feel like we're almost due for one. But we'll see what time I'm starting work on Monday. Hopefully, we will be able to balance it out quite nicely. Another big run from Scott Seo. I see Innard's gone off the field for Yandel here. How's Don Auntie and Uncle? Hello to both of them. Says Michelle, they're doing very well. Mum won her bowls yesterday, so she was very happy. I think Dad won his golf as well, so everyone's winning. It's good news. Advantage at the moment in favour of the Exeter Chiefs. Solomon Kata, nice run. Yandel. And he recently making his way out onto the field, already having to get involved in some of the breakdowns. Maunda goes off to Solomon Kata, tries to chip him behind. Oh, high shot on Kurtley Arinsa. And he will stay down here. And like they've said, it will probably be reversed. And you also know how to burn those midnight oils with your back-to-back commentary, Kiwi Lads Rocks. And so it's Kerwin Bosch for the box there, Neighbour, says John Mills. I mean, there's a chance that he might be in the running. They've got Kerwin Bosch, Manny Lebok, and Henry Pollard. And then you've also got a couple other options along the way. Right, they're going to do a TMO check here against Henry Slade. And big love, brother, all as well, says Sebastian. And something G straight out of Big C Town, says Nate. I feel like, Nate, you're a lot more of a gangster than I am. You know? Like, when you say it, it probably sounds cool. When I say it, it sounds weird, doesn't it? Now, just showing this one, has there been foul play? Oh, so he hits him on the shoulder and then it rides up. Rinsa, as soon as that happened, realized that scenario and stayed down because he knew that he might be able to get away with possibly milking the penalty. And he has done well there. And I was like, yeah, my awesome cool dude, mate. Or Nate. So it hits the shoulder, rides up onto the chin. There is high contact, though. So I believe this penalty is going to be reversed, which is a silly one to give away for Henry Slade. Definitely in a match that you are now trailing by 18 points. A lot of gangs in Seatown Hamish I've read. Says John Mills. I feel like there's quite a few gangs in a lot of regions overall. Someone said on the live stream the other day that apparently New Zealand has a few, but we've cut down on gangs because I guess it was hard to keep track of them all. So now they've just got bigger gangs. What's for breakfast, Hamish, says Beauty V? I think today's probably a wheat bix and milk day. Pretty stock standard. Nothing special about it either. I don't even have sugar on it. So it's just wheat and milk. But might have to make something nicer for lunch. And another Nick White says, Spider Meat. Maybe. Okay, not enough clear. High degree of danger. Okay, touch judge or TMO, sorry, has said that he thinks it's a rare card. And how's the Bulls? Open areas of the game, have they stopped? We're giving away easy penalties to the opposition. There's still quite a few going against them, but their running game has been pretty strong when they do get to show it. Harrisburg, your video was really good. Playing cricket at Teenagers Boys a few days ago. I like your cover drive shot, says Michelle. Yeah, it was one of the rare shots that I actually missed a fielder in that game. But we've got an umpiring one of that same game coming out soon, Vishal, in the next kind of 3 days or so. I did lose all of the footage, but luckily the hard drive, even though it pretty much scrapped it, it said that I can transfer it away as long as it's very, very slow. So that's what I've been doing throughout this last couple weeks or so, is trying to get that. In fact, the last week, sorry, I've been trying to get all that footage away so that we can get that video out. So yeah, next few days you'll get to see me umpiring that same game and watch our team bat a few of the other players other than just myself. Curtly Arinse, there was a little knock on there on the ground. So now it's going to be the Exeter Chiefs with the scrum. Do you get free milk in New Zealand? Are you so many cows? Yeah, climate change. Says John, we don't get free milk. So it's, yeah, you just pay for it like everything else. And Hamish, John, a big gangster place in Cape Town, scary, says Ruth. And there as well. But the penalty map, so far we have seen, I believe that is 5 against the Bulls and about 11 against the Exeter Chiefs. So the Bulls giving away only 5 at this point in the match, I think they'd be relatively happy with. I'm surprised Zach Berger's still out on the field, to be honest. He hasn't had the best last maybe 15 minutes or so. And also we have got the Hamish, which flavour of pastry and cakes you love? Pastries. So I assume that's like what type of pie, maybe? I like a good steak pie. Probably what I'd go with. Like steak and cheese is all right, but if I had to choose out of steak and cheese and steak, I'd probably just go steak. And then favorite type of cake, to be honest, just a good old vanilla one, probably. Like vanilla buttercream. Doesn't sound very manly, but it's nice. And boss, I watched this documentary on Cape Town gangsters, top 5 most dangerous downs in the world. Oosh. Irish bros, please send some more video of you playing cricket and some rugby kicks to score the try, says Michelle. So yeah, we are back into the season in 2 weekends' time. So as soon as the season starts back up, we will be doing some more of the cricket and having the GoPro on the head and whatnot. So the big thing is I just got to score more runs, I think. I want to have more options of shots. I don't want to have to put all of the balls in that I face. I want to put in the scoring shots. That would be the goal eventually. Which with this new big scrum from the Bulls, beautifully done. And there's a bit of argy-bargy in the front rows. Yeah, from the technique that I'm developing and the tactics that I'm developing, hopefully that will become a thing. I thought Seatown is paradise, isn't it, where the Stormers come from, Hamish? It is. It depends on what region. It's like all places. If you find a good region, it's nice. If you find a bad region, it's not as fun. And also the best confectionery is camp, more colourful than the rainbow itself. There's a bachelor, my mate told me that you an ex-Mau Mau warlord. I'm an ex-warlord. Interesting. What did he get that from? Because I feel like live stream wise, he would have just heard me talking. And I don't think I sound like much of a gangster, to be honest. Now, nice run from Curtly Arinse. Put the ball down. It's gone backwards, I've said. Zach Berger now gives it off to Chris Smith. Looking for the touchline and does end up finding it. Good kick downfield. Are you an opener or bat at the middle order in the cricket match? They have been batting me. So I played 2 innings. First innings I opened, managed to get 10 runs off too many balls again. And then the second innings was the one that you guys have seen on the GoPro, and I came in at number 3. I don't know why I'm so high up the order, though, because I feel like my runs on the board haven't really proven that I can bat. Because, like, overall, if you look at our team, like, I guess I'm probably near the top of the order, but I wouldn't say I'm that great compared to some of the other players. Like, some of our players, like, they're a lot better at just smacking the ball rather than playing technical. Like, if we were playing a test match, I'd be probably opener or number 3. But in short format, I think I just take too long to get going. Steak and cheese, says Nate. And yeah, I agree. Pepper steak with ketchup. A good old Death by chocolate cake. The best was in the UK. Says Roof. Currently, the Exeter Chiefs, they're going to have this ball available. Maunder once again rolls it back. Just kick that ball high up to the halfway line. Going up for it. David Creel unable to get it. Now offloaded across. Bag. Bump off there from Vermaken. I think it's going to be an HIA. In fact, they're going to have to stop the game because that looks like Woodburn is knocked unconscious. Yeah, he doesn't look good. At the moment, his arms are kind of trying to go the wrong way. Yeah, he doesn't look too good at the moment. Ollie Woodburn, which is a shame. He tried to tackle Vermaak and got steamrolled. Have you worked on your cut shot, Hamish? For mine, and you need to look at Ross, the best cutter in the world, says John Mills. I do actually, believe it or not, I have a cut shot in my locker. I just didn't use it in that game. Yeah, awkward fall. In fact, it might have been Yandel who did end up getting cleaned up there. But yeah, normally cut shot and cover drive are my two main weapons. Yeah, I didn't use either of them in that innings, which was weird. I don't know whether or not it was just I couldn't be bothered or I just didn't decide that that was the ball that I wanted to play. But like looking back at the footage, I wish I had actually swung at a few of those balls. And then the one that I got out to, I middled it, but I didn't put any effort into the shot. So if I had actually swung through, might have been a lot more handy. Oh, bugger, you know, she'll be right. Says Spider Mix. So we are going to have another stoppage here, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a few of them at this stage. Go like this and like this. It was 2 minutes. Is it being called there? We'll go like one moment. We'll go like this and like this. There we go. Right, the odds are really not good for the Exeter Chiefs. At the moment, you're too modest. You're pretty good. I'm sure all-rounder. I could get to an all-rounder stage. I don't think my bowling's quite there yet. It used to be a lot stronger, but I think now that I've decided to switch to medium pace, hopefully it does end up getting a little bit stronger. And 64 watching, 23 likes. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're new, says BTV. And the Blue Balls all the way from Qatar, says Barnes. Welcome in, mate. You are doing very well. Currently 22 minutes, and the Bulls got themselves a pretty solid lead at the moment. Should be able to close out the game. And Hamish last night was eating a crunch burger. It cost just 25 rupees Indian. So we'll do a Google here. How much is 25 rupees Indian to New Zealand dollar? 25 Indian rupees, 48 cents. New Zealand, that is extremely cheap, Michelle. Is that a normal price for a burger in India? And are you a swinger, Hamish? Says John Mills. Only in my spare time. No, normally I was spin, but I can't decide whether I want to bowl off spin or leg spin because I can do a little bit of both. But my problem is I change up too early. So I've been bowling a bit of medium pace. I get a bit of an away swing on the ball, but I'm also hoping that I'll probably bowl medium pace in the matches, but still develop my leg spin at practice and try and slowly get to the point of being able to bowl leg spin in a match. South Africa rugby looking a bit better than cricket at the moment, says Christian. And there's going to be a tough series. South Africa coming up, England heading to South Africa for the match. Speaking of players, I mean, that kind of looks a little bit, at first glance, I thought it could have been Rabada, but he will, of course, be playing in the SA T20. And hey, John, how's it there, buddy? Cape Town is experiencing load shedding at the moment. People have upped the security measures, lots of crime, says Ruth. And I've actually been to Exeter when I lived and worked in the UK for 7 years, says Ruth. Nice. England's an interesting place, I'd say, because I've considered, of course, everyone's considered maybe a trip to the UK at some point. But my cousin went to the UK recently, and they didn't really enjoy London. So maybe they went to the wrong region in England, or the wrong area. And Irish run medium fast bowlers or something different style. Yeah, medium pace, medium fast. I'd say probably medium fast for our grade, but medium in like any other grade. I think go solar roof. It's good for Greta, says John. Currently, we have still got another stoppage. Looks like Yandel about to get back to his feet. He is back up, which is great to say. Meters made. Similani, 69. Arinser, 54. And then it's Hodge sitting there on 52. Yeah, like I mentioned, another stoppage in this match. We've had a few of them, whether it's referees pulling hammies or players getting knocked unconscious. Certainly had its fair share of things to make the game go a tad longer, but it's still going to be finished, I would think, by about maybe 8:30, somewhere around there. London is nice. The countryside is great. Says Sebastian Hamish, bro. I was playing cricket, but underarm box cricket, says Vishal. I think I've heard of that. And it's played in smaller areas, isn't it, Vishal? In UK, it's terrible for a holes, Hamish, holes, as in holidays, Hamish, only the Royals, and very, very expensive, says John Mills there. The Bulls in attendance, they're certainly still getting plenty of support from their crowd. It's very nice to see. I wonder how much that man who's got that cart for the injuries just wants to floor it off the field. I went to the UK with my mum and don't really like it there. Sorry, mum, says Spider Mick. So, yeah, it does seem to be that it's a mixed opinion on the UK, whether or not it's good or not for visiting. Player taken off the field. It looks like we are now going to have ourselves a scrum. It will be the Bulls' ball due to that stoppage at the time of possession in the Bulls' favour. I'm surprised that Zach Billiger's still on the field, but I would say that next stoppage, I would take him off personally. I'd give Ambrose Papia a bit of a run. Now, ball is going to be fed in. I've already seen quite a few penalties throughout this match of scrum time. It's a very solid one now. Legs are starting to shake for the Bulls. Brilliant scrum from both sides. Very solid. Now back across. It's going to be now Curtly Aronsa. Big fend. Goes through the line. Tries to pass on his outside. Kane and Moody, but just put it a little bit too far out in front of him. Yo, bro, did you see how United smoked Man City today? Nice seeing City getting some treatment. Says Anaket, I didn't. What was the score at the end of that one? Anaket, because of course Premier League came back recently, didn't it? Haven't actually been able to catch any of the games yet. I got scammed to the UK. Am I gullible or something? Says John Mills. Well, that depends on what you got scammed with. Like, did someone come up to you and say, I'm going to take $1,000 of your dollars and give you 5,000 back, and then they ran off with your $1,000? Because if that's the case, then you are gullible, but also you have just been robbed. But then if it's something like you tried to pay $20 for a burger when it should have been 15 and they didn't give you change, then I guess that's just bad maths, isn't it? Unless you realize then you didn't want to go back and make a fuss because you like the burger. And 2-1, United were behind, and then one says Anaket. Nicely taken by Jack Knoll. Exeter Chiefs have got this ball back 40 metres out from their own line now. Back across to the left-hand side, but a draw and pass. Tackler, that's going to be the penalty. Roll away faster. Okay, referee said that very clearly. If the tackler rolled away, you could have contested, but because he wasn't too quick with the rolling away, you don't get to go for it. Looks like Curtly Arnson just getting a little bit of medical attention around the eye. Now, kick will be going into touch. As Harvey Skinner does get it out just around that 22 mark. Now, the Exeter Chiefs, they can still walk away from this game with some benefit. That is if they score 2 tries in the next 20 minutes, they'll get themselves the losing bonus point. And minimum from this game, they'll walk away with 1. That would also put them within 7. So that would be pretty decent. I was embarrassed for the scammer, Hamish. Wait, so you got scammed. Wait, so you got scammed and you were embarrassed for him, but you didn't get your money back? Or her. I did say him there. But yeah, I think we're going to need to know the backstory, John. Now, Jack Knoll looking to run it back at the line. He's been able to break through one, slips there, and Vermaak makes a good tackle on him. Now going off to the right-hand side, Maunda. Is it one more? Skinner tries to spin out of the Nassim card tackle. Maka van Staren almost able to get it as well. Now Christ Chinza, a man who we haven't seen nearly enough for the Exeter Chiefs throughout this match. Early Chiefs inside of their own half. Nice inside ball. Linking up well with, I believe there was Giannis Kirsten. And the penalty once again goes the way of the Exeter Chiefs. Starting to give away silly penalties now, the Bulls. Seems to be penalty after penalty. They had only given away 5 at the 57-minute mark. But now I believe they're up to about 8 or 9. in only the few minutes that have followed. And also, we look at that, John Mills, how much you lose, says Bodemic. It's very difficult to roll away in that scenario, but still going to be the penalty against the Bulls. 10 metres out from the line now. Nice long throw. And well taken there by Kirsten once again. Now they're rolling more of the Bulls. How well can it defend the Chiefs as they start to march forward? Okay, Roa Nokia, I believe, has to get out of where he is. Now let's go of it. Jack Knoll continuing to drive forward. 10 metres out from the line here. Round the side. Short ball. Brilliant run onto it. I believe that would have been James Kinney. Was able to go for 300 pounds, Spider-Man. Yo, bro, I reckon you are just over 6 foot, maybe 6'1". I am not. I am 5'10", 5'11", somewhere along those lines. So not quite up to the 6 foot mark. In fact, probably 5'10" out of those two. A bit shorter. Now only a metre out. Sam is held up. Sam Simmons unable to get that one down, and it's going to be a goal line dropout now. Who are the traditional winners in the Champions Cup? Says roll off. Normally it is, I guess, either Leinster or a French side. So whether that's Leinster or Toulouse, those are normally the two who are right up there at the top. It also sounds like a story for a test cricket stream, says Sebastian, and it's a long story, Hamish. I think you'd be asleep by the time I came to the crunch line. Sorry, maybe another day. There's John Mills. And also today was North London Derby Day. My favourite team, and I'm a fan, Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspur game, says Vishal. But it's a quick tap taken by the Exeter Chiefs, just looking to continue building this momentum as they get a little bit closer. Josh Osefa Scott, we've seen him playing a little bit in New Zealand. I'm playing for the Exeter Chiefs, only a couple metres between the Chiefs and a try. Thought about reaching out for that one. Not able to get there in the end. Right-hand side looking open for them. They give it off to Solomorikata. Round the side, over the line. And this time, it is a try. I think it might be... Who's that? Is that going to be Kirsten who was able to score it? I think it was. Giannis Kirsten. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was. Giannis Kirsten does score the try. His first cup try in 18 appearances. Holy cow, he scam. Got you real good, bro. Be aware next time, says Spider-Man. And come on, Kata. Says Nate, yeah, only a couple metres short from the line, and then just able to slide over the line there for Kirsten. And now Exeter Chiefs, they've still got a lot that they can play for here. Let's not get that wrong. If they score 2 quick fire tries here, they would actually be in the lead if they convert them both. An ex-Bulls player says BDV for Giannis Kirsten, sorry. And will Arsenal lose? Maybe, I hope, would make the EPL interesting and not a one-horse race, says John. So with that try being scored, I'm quickly going to do a little Google and see what that does to the odds. Because, like I mentioned, Exeter, they're a man down still. That makes it a bit more tricky. They've lost Henry Slade, but they haven't conceded too many tries in recent history. Now that kick is over. So that now makes it a little bit closer. That will make it an 11-point difference between the two sides. Come on, the Gunners, says Sebastian there as well. But it was decent defense from the Bulls initially, but then just too strong. Continued to throw men at the line and managed to get there in the end. Right, so at the moment, the Exeter Chiefs to win are $21 underdogs. La Rochelle to beat Ulster are $5.75 underdogs. And Giannis Kirsten is a former Bulls player, says Alfie there. Done very nicely against his old side. Chance of a win for Exeter Chiefs, though, it's very slim at this point in the match, you would think. But you never know. Isn't Kirsten part of the famous Kirsten family, Peter and Gray, or Gary from Seatown? Says John Mills. If he's played for the Bulls, there is half a chance, maybe. It's going to be kicked high. Swanepoel now out on the field. That is for Vermaak, who's already scored a try. Penalty again goes the way of the Exeter Chiefs. And minutes left, Hamish. At the moment, we have got another 13 minutes left in this one. 1 or 2 more tries, 13 minutes left. Says Nate. That is the way it sits. So, yeah, they'll need 2 more tries in the next 13 minutes. And if they can do that, they will then go on and get themselves a win. Unless, of course, the Bulls score themselves a try. And then in that instance, it might be just out of reach for them. But Josh Hodge will be kicking this one down towards the touchline. And so a good start I got this season. I hope team maintain their lead at the top of the table, says Vishal. Great kick downfield from Hodge. Oh, he's not happy with where the line out, or the touch judges said that the line out is going to be. It's actually going to be on the 22 now. Like I mentioned, only 13 minutes to go. So Exeter Chiefs, they need to make sure they're making the most of their opportunities off the back now. Nice big drive, I believe that was by Fisi Lau. Looks like the Bulls might have stolen it. Yes, they do, and they get the penalty. So that was not making the most of that opportunity. And come on, the Bulls, one more try, and the Gunners could fire. Done today, Seb. Says John. Oh, there's blood coming out of the nose of Maka van Staden. Doesn't look too flash. Going to have to go off for a blood bin while they fix up that nose. Well, here's a cut just right across the bridge, which won't feel too great for him. There's a UFC card on today. I was just having a quick Google because I realized that I haven't watched any UFC in a very long time, but it's Sean Strickland in the main event, which will be an interesting one. Looks like they're going to try and stop the blood. They're not going to be able to, though. There's actually quite a bit of combat sports on today. You got UFC and a bit of boxing on as well. And then later on, we've got the Champions Cup. Stormers versus London Irish. Racing 92 versus Harlequins. Like I mentioned, I'm not sure if we're covering both of those games or just the singular of the two at this point. And not too flash. Says Nate there. Yeah, it's not the biggest card we've seen. In fact, while we've got a bit of a stoppage, I'm going to move that over there. So Sean Strickland's going to be versing Amavov, who I haven't actually heard of at this stage. Mikhail Pennington's on the card. Umar Nurmagomedov. They had a lot of cancel fights, though, which I think made it tricky for them. So it might be a bit of a last-minute card that they've put together, because there aren't huge fights on it. But then UFC 283 is just around the corner, which also some would say isn't as huge as it could be. Oh, no. Looking through, I think, solid card. Oh, nice big run from Kirsten again. Chiefs kicking a mine now. Waiting for the bounce. It's favourable for Johan Horsen, who's been able to clean it up nicely now, looking for the kick downfield. And does manage to get that ball into touch. That's where the scammer came from, Seb. Seven Sisters Road, I think. And also, I hope not, John. Not against the rivals in Spurs. North London must remain red. Sebastian there. When does that game take place? Is that a 9 a.m. kickoff New Zealand time, or is that... No, that 9 a.m. New Zealand time is quite late, isn't it? Is that tomorrow that it takes place? Maybe. I keep forgetting what day we're on. In fact, it's tomorrow morning 9, actually, now that I think about it, isn't it? Is that correct? Maybe. So it is going to be... Oh, it's frozen. We will check in a second. But currently the Exeter Chiefs got this ball... Oh, no, 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. When that one's taking place, it's Hooper. Always the bridge of the nose guy. Hamish to John Mills. Nice line break. Similani. Now a foot race. They won't catch him, and it's just a little mistake from the Exeter Chiefs that's actually going to cost them that try and most probably the game. They actually already had the 5 points on the board before he had run in the try. That's how confident the scorer was that he was going to be able to get over the line. But Similani does very nicely there. The Bulls have got themselves the bonus point. The Exeter Chiefs, they still need one more to get that bonus 1 point for this match. Amish Bro, any Rugby Sevens game in 2023 schedule next weekend, Vishal. We got the Hamilton Sevens, and then the weekend after that, we've got the Sydney Sevens. So they've actually announced the schedule of the Hamilton Sevens more recently. It starts at about 9 a.m. New Zealand time on the Saturday, finishes at about 7 p.m. So we will be covering sevens throughout Saturday, and then also Sunday will be the day that they have all the finals, etc. And then Sydney is actually a 3-day competition rather than 2, which works out quite well because if I've got cricket on Saturday, I would ideally like to be able to play. So I will hopefully be able to balance what's happening and get those quarterfinal games in rather than just the group stage. Yeah, for that Saturday. Johan Horsen lining up this kick. Currently 37 points to 21. They've got there the Bulls from Jan Lu. It's gone straight over, so they'll make the score now 39 points to 21. We've seen 60 points scored throughout this match so far. I did just see that La Rochelle versus Ulster is actually over at this stage. What a game that is. It's actually finished at 7 points to 3. There was a last-minute try from Joel Scalavi. So I mentioned earlier on about now Kurtley Aldense has got himself the line break, backing himself down the outside. He's gone into touch, and that is now going to be the line out. But yeah, I mentioned about our La Rochelle with $5 underdogs, and they've gone on. Geez, I'm glad we did this game. I tell you what, 7 points to 3 with the final minute of the game being when that try was scored. And me, this game has taken forever. It is a long one. We've had the injury stoppage of the referee. We've had the player injury as well. Should be enough now, says Jacques here. They should finish ahead in this game, you'd like to think, and that will actually move them up to 4th place, still behind the Exeter Chiefs. Do you want a ton on Saturday, Hamish, or a 5 for, says John Mills? Oh, it's a tricky one. I think I prefer, it's hard though, because I would say I prefer 5 wickets, because that way at least our team has more of a chance. But then depending on how many runs they score with their other 5 wickets, depends on the total. So maybe 100 would be more useful. But either of them I'd definitely take. To be honest, I'd take 3 wickets and 50 runs. It would actually be my first ever 50 as well. And Bulls getting a bonus, Hamish. Says Spider-Me. Yep, they have got themselves the bonus point at the moment. So they will walk away with the full 5 from this game. It's just the question of whether or not the Exeter Chiefs can finish themselves with 1 point. It's going to be the advantage for the high shot. Around the side now, James Kenny. Set up at the line, back across again. Chipped him on from Harvey Skinner. Straight down to Kurtley Aldense. And they'll be going back. And Bulls rather, says Spider-Mick. And also, yes, he's going to steal a bonus, says Nate. A bonus burger. Back in the day, player of the day, you used to get a Macca's burger, didn't you? It used to be fun. Playing rugby and Hamish Road point table after the Bull wins this game. They will be sitting in 4th, sitting on the 10 points. I think the La Rochelle's wins helped them out quite a bit because they were on the other side of the draw. They are now in 2nd. Toulouse is in 1st, and Leicester also on the same points, all on 13. And what format will your competition be? It was rumoured it would be T20, but I believe it's still going to be 40 overs each. So it should be still the same format as we've had. And also, apparently, there's 2 new teams in the competition, which will be quite cool because you get to rotate through a few more opposition. Even though I've only played 2 matches, so I haven't actually played anyone twice yet. Around this side, referee took a big shot to the spine. And that's the thing. If we lose this referee, we've got no referees really left, I wouldn't think. Go on the referee scrum is the call. And also, I should mention, though, we might have a chance at T20 later on, I think. And who's topped the table, says Spider-Me. For this group, it is Leinster, followed by the Sharks, followed by Exeter, and then the Bulls. And good luck, Hamish. I work on your cut shot and general play back foot. The wicket seems to be slow in New Zealand. Plenty of opportunity to score, says John there. Yeah, I just need to bring out that cut shot. It's there in the arsenal. I play it at practice all the time. In fact, I play more of the cut shot than I do any leg side shots. But just for that match, didn't want to use it. Decided, nah, I'd rather watch the ball just drift past. Will you cover India, Black Cats, ODI, or T20s? Anyone, says Coding. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some of that series. It's always risky with the copyright, as you guys know. And with it coming into the Six Nations, it's a tricky time to be able to cover those series. But we'll see how we go. Avatar stream, can you check the Discord message of me, says Jan Lu? I will try my best to check that out. My Discord's very weird at the moment. It doesn't seem to send notifications when I get messages. And it also has me as offline all the time. And yeah, betting friendly wickets in New Zealand may it be a good season, Hamish, says Sebastian. Yeah, it's good that we're playing on artificial because that way you get true bounce. Whereas if you're on an English wicket, not firing shots at England, but of course, when it's on a grass wicket, it skids a bit lower. And there's a bit more in it for the spinners, whereas pace, I think, is the way to go on these artificial. Sam Simmons, round the side of the breakdown now, only 4.5 minutes left in this contest. Exeter Chiefs looking for the bonus point for 4 tries. And off to the right-hand side again, getting close to the line, already scoring himself 1. Kirsten was looking for the double there. Round the side again, will be Fishy Lau, sorry, I should say. And I was like, howdy, Aaron, says Xavier, welcome in, mate. I'm working 7 a.m. Australia. Aussie time to 3:30 p.m. today, says Xavier. So a big shift for yourself, mate. Hopefully you do enjoy it. Get to meet plenty of people throughout the time that you're working. No advantage play on from the referee. Now 4 minutes left. Exeter, if they can walk away with 1 point from this game, it would be a pretty massive one. Bulls made hard work, but we'll win now, says Ronnie. Yeah, there were moments in this game how they looked a little bit shaky. But overall, I think Exeter, from not being able to take their chances in the Bulls, they have had a couple really good moments with the ball in hand. I thought I had a hair in my mouth, and I did. I was just waiting for the right opportunity to get it, which I did get it. And I for next time, I expect you quickly run, mate. Just like Fennell, hit hard. That was close. Very close for the Exeter Chiefs. Half an inch out. This might be held up here. No, it's going to be wrestled down. Where's the ball, though? I think the Bulls might have this one, do they? No, it's actually going to be a Exeter Chiefs scrum. The ball just got locked in. No progression attacking ball. Bismarck wanted it. Didn't quite get it. Aussie Sevens soon. Finally, Sevens had a very good time, says Aussie Xavier Brown. Exactly right. New Zealand Sevens, or Hamilton Sevens next weekend. Then the weekend after that, we get the Sydney Sevens, which should be quite cool. However, cricket sucks at the moment. No direction, going sideways, says Roof. And are you on fire, buddy? Bulls players built like Russian army tanks. Don't want to get flattened by them. And also, we have got their T20 better than ODI, says Spider-Man. Can do the Chiefs fly British Airways, Hamish. No SAA anymore to Heathrow, I think, says John Mills. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you what plane they jump on. I just know that they're here. And they're looking for a bonus point, only 5 meters out from the line. Early push from both sides there, I think. Not square. Is the call there? Referee's just saying no problem. This game going forever. It's been a very long game. The other match that was taking place at the same time has actually already finished. And it already finished about maybe 10 minutes ago. And it was 7 points to 3. So I guess one benefit or one argument to that is the fact that they didn't have any tries other than that very last one. So it didn't take a huge amount of their time up. But 2 more games taking place later on today. At 9 a.m., Saracens versus Lyon and Ospreys versus Montpellier. They're both going to be taking place at 9 a.m., like I mentioned. That ball's going to go off the back. Sam Simmons, close to the line, 1 meter out. Another advantage in favor of the Exeter Chiefs. I think we're going to see a yellow card here against the Bulls. It's almost got to be now. Around the side, close. Does drop it. Right. Going to be another penalty, and next week's fixtures for home playoffs should be good. There's Jacques there. And Irish Bros South Africa T20 tournament just started, but not big response this tournament yet. Hot, says Vishal. Right, the quick tap taken. 5 meters out from the line. Great low tackle made. Who was that? Oh, I thought it was Bismarck Duplessis, but I believe instead it was actually the replacement number 20, WJ Stenkamp. Now around the side again. It is going to be Fissi Lau. Still a good opportunity for Exeter. 1 minute left on the clock. All they need is to cross that try line once, and they walk away with 1 point. Could be the difference between a home final and a non-home final here for them. Also known as an away final rather than a non-home one. 1 meter out. Close, very close. That is over. And Exeter, they'll walk away with the bonus point. There's a bit of a celebration, but They know that they've been defeated in this game, but they'll walk away with one, which is better than none, of course. David Warner is a double whopper with all the trimmings. Love it. Hamish is an off-cutter, no swing, and he's a Jason Momoa lookalike as well. Kiwi lads rocking the rugby live, baby. Says Roof. And also we have got there, sorry, mistakes type, yet responded not. Says Michelle. And then yellow card for what, says Spider-Me, just for repeat infringements just out from their own line. But it wasn't the case. Instead, they concede the try. And it is going to be the end of the match now, still with a kick to come. Still a little bit of time in this matchup, like 20 seconds. And Hamish can check my message after stream if you have time. Says Yarlu, I will give it a look. Avi Skinner, 1 from 1 at the moment. Taking some deep breaths now. And he strikes and he gets it. So it's going to make the end score in this game 29 points to 28. And also we have got there, WTF is Ruth saying, Average, is the Poison Dwarf well endowed or something? Says John, I think she's a big fan of David Warner. Some people are. He's a pretty decent batsman overall. Hasn't had the best run in test form. Well done, Bulls. Says Jan Ludebrand. Jack Noel just having a chat with Ollie Woodburn. I think they're disappointed with how this game went. I think we saw Jack Noel once. Woodburn we might have seen twice. And the ball just didn't really get out to them, unfortunately. So maybe this game, definitely one that was won in the forwards. And the Bulls were just a little bit stronger on the day. So the next live stream that we have got, ladies and gentlemen, will be tomorrow night. 2 a.m. London Irish versus the Stormers. I'm not sure if we're doing Racing 92 versus Harlequins as of yet, but we will be scheduling those ones a little bit later on in the day. And congratulations, Bulls. It's a nice victory. Bulls are bulldozing Exeter. Baboom. Or bam boom, says Roof there as well. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I've realized that this chair's a bit low, so I'm only kind of halfway up on the screen rather than all the way. Hang on, we'll go like that. There we go. We're a bit higher now. I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.